Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Okay, cool. So today we're looking at the year of Dominion.
Yeah,
This piece by Jeremiah Adegbola. You actually shared this from the Ribbons of Grace podcast, so thanks for that.
of course.
And it really digs into the whole Christian experience, but in a way that I don't think we really talked about before.
Right. Definitely some fresh perspectives in there.
Yeah, right off the bat, he uses this phrase "conquered man" to describe a Christian.
Yeah, and that definitely caught my attention too. Conquered man. It's like, wait, what? Isn't that the opposite of what we usually think about?
Exactly. Like, aren't we supposed to be overcomers, victors?
Right. But he kind of flips the script on us. He's talking about being conquered by something way bigger than ourselves.
And that something is
Love.
right,
Right.
the love of God.
Yeah.
And it's not about force or defeat. It's about surrender.
Surrender. That's a tough one for a lot of us, I think. We like to be in control. Totally. But think about it, we all have our own plans, our own ideas of how things should go. But sometimes, and maybe even a lot of the time, God has something even better in mind.
So it's about trusting Him enough
Yeah,
to let go of our way and embrace His, even if it doesn't make sense to us at first.
exactly. And that's where the real transformation begins. When we surrender to His love, we open ourselves up to His power working in us. And that's what He calls Godlife.
Okay, so Godlife, like living a life that's, well, God-centered, God-powered. What does that even look like practically?
Yeah, it's not just some internal feeling or a label. It's about our actions, our words, our whole being reflecting God's will. And he uses this really striking image. He says, a Christian is a mirror of God.
A mirror of God. Whoa, that's pretty powerful imagery. I mean, does that mean we have to be perfect, flawless reflections all the time? Because I don't know about you, but I mess up a lot.
Yeah, no, he's not talking about some impossible standard of perfection. Remember, it's all about love. And God's love isn't about being flawless, right? It's about things like grace, compassion, forgiveness, and even when we make mistakes, even in our imperfections, we can still show those qualities to other people.
So it's not about putting on a show or pretending to have it all together. It's about letting God's character shine through us, even in our weaknesses.
Yeah.
And the text even emphasizes that this reflection involves our whole selves.
Exactly, body, soul, and spirit. He says it's about pleasing God in all things, not just some things, but everything.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for you, listener, because this whole idea of being a conquered man, surrendering to God's love, becoming a mirror of God, it's not just about our personal journey.
Right, it's not meant to be this inward-focused, self-contained thing. It has a ripple effect.
Yeah, the more we are filled with God's love, the more that love naturally spills out to others. We become conduits of His grace, His compassion. We start to actually make a difference in the world around us.
It's like our transformation becomes contagious, and that's how God's kingdom expands.
This is so cool. So we're not just talking about sitting in a corner, meditating on God's love, right? This is about taking action, serving others, sharing God's goodness, really making a tangible impact.
Exactly. Personal transformation leads to outward action, and the text even emphasizes how those two things are intertwined. They feed each other.
It's this beautiful cycle. We
Yeah.
surrender to God's love. He transforms us from the inside out, and then that transformation empowers us to impact the world.
And that, in turn, draws others to God's love. It's a continuous journey of surrender, reflection, and action.
Love it. This whole deep dive has been so insightful. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to ponder. What does it mean for you to be conquered by love? Like, really think about it.
Yeah, how would that change the way you approach your daily life? Your interactions with your family, your friends, even strangers, the choices you make, big and small? It's a powerful idea to wrestle with. So take some time to explore it, see where it leads you. Maybe it'll spark something amazing in your life. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See you then.